Imagine hovering over cities and countrysides and wild areas, sightseeing while you travel for pleasure or business in ultimate luxury. Silent, sleek, and non-polluting. This vacuum airship could be the future of travel. But how does a vacuum airship work? How would it change the world? And why aren't we using them? This is What If. And here's what would happen if we built vacuum airships. Air travel is an important part of our modern world, and not just for personal vacations. Science, cargo transportation, humanitarian relief, business, all use air travel. But airplanes are a huge source of pollution. In 2019, global commercial air traffic emitted 915 million tons of carbon dioxide. That's where the vacuum ship comes in. While it looks like a common airship, it doesn't need helium to fly. Which is good, because helium is a non-renewable source of energy, and we're running out. Oh, it also emits zero greenhouse gases. That's right, zero. This technology would be revolutionary. But how does it work? A traditional airship uses lifting gas to become buoyant. Helium and hydrogen both have a lower density than air. When an airship is filled with helium, it becomes lighter than the air outside of it. This displaces the surrounding air. Basically, this means that the buoyant force overcomes the gravitational force, and there you are, up in the air. It's called the Archimedes principle, and it's the same reason a beach ball or a ship floats on water. Modern airships use helium as the lifting gas. But because helium is completely non-renewable, we can't exactly rely on it for the future. And using hydrogen? Well, that did not turn out well in the past. Vacuum ships don't use Archimedes' principle to float in the air. Instead of relying on the difference of weight between inside the airship and outside, vacuum ships create, well, a vacuum. This vacuum displaces air, creating upward lift without any sort of gas. It's a completely clean form of air travel. The effects of this technology would stretch far and wide. There's the obvious reduction of CO2 and other pollutants in our atmosphere. So you can feel much better about world traveling. You could also go on luxurious air cruises, sightseeing wildlife and the world's famous landmarks from above. Not to mention all the practical uses of the vacuum ship. Humanitarian aid could be sent quicker and safer to places that don't have the infrastructure for planes. Vacuum stations could be created with solar panels gathering energy from the sun above the clouds. Or maybe we'd create giant sky farms that water crops by collecting condensation. Although living in the shade of one of these stationary vacuum ships would not be pleasant. We'd need to develop new laws regulating airspace so the sky doesn't become too cluttered. But if this is so life-changing, then why aren't we building them right now? We don't have the right material to make them. We need something super strong and super light. If not strong enough, a vacuum ship would implode from the pressure caused by Earth's atmosphere. If not light enough, then the vacuum ship can't displace enough air to fly. Too thin, and the shell structure is at risk of buckling. But if we were able to create a material that could withstand the pressure of Earth's atmosphere while being light enough to allow lift, then the vacuum ship would become a reality. Once the technology was perfected, then smaller vacuum ships could be developed for personal use. Because hey, this whole vacuum airship idea doesn't actually suck. Think of how different our world would be if we had flying cars. But that's a story for another What If.